invisible prison, exploring the layers of reality and conscious awakening. Imagine this: every decision you make, from your daily routines to your most ambitious dreams, could be influenced by forces you hardly notice. It's a provocative thought, one that raises questions about free will, autonomy, and the invisible systems shaping our lives. Could our everyday reality be a carefully orchestrated illusion? This concept has sparked debates across historical, mystical, and scientific domains. From ancient texts like the Nag Hammadi Manuscripts to modern neuroscience and sociology, insights suggest that life, as we know it, might be more intricate and controlled than we realize. At the heart of this discussion lies the concept of the invisible prison. This metaphor describes a hidden framework that guides human behavior, shaping perceptions, habits, and even desires without overt detection. Whether through ancient esoteric teachings or contemporary psychological studies, the idea challenges the assumption of total autonomy and asks us to consider the forces that might influence our daily choices. Ancient perspectives on control. Many of the earliest explorations of hidden influences come from mystical traditions. Gnostic texts, such as the Nag Hammadi Manuscripts, speak of entities known as archons that manipulate human consciousness. Similarly, Kabbalistic and Hermetic writings propose that reality consists of multiple layers, with most humans trapped in lower levels of awareness. These texts suggest that without transcendent awakening, we remain confined within a limited perception of the world. Sociologists argue that these patterns aren't entirely spontaneous, but are part of a larger system designed to maintain economic and social stability. From political propaganda to educational curriculums, collective life often follows invisible scripts that prioritize conformity over critical thinking, patterns and glitches in everyday life. One of the most intriguing aspects of the invisible prison theory is the idea of reality glitches. These are moments when the ordinary script seems to falter, revealing gaps or inconsistencies in the system. Synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, are often cited as examples. Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst, described these events as connections that defy statistical probability, suggesting a deeper underlying order. Quantum physics adds another layer to this discussion. Experiments like the double-slit test show that the observer's consciousness can influence physical outcomes. While these findings were not meant to prove mystical theories, they have been interpreted as evidence that reality is more flexible and interconnected than it appears. The corpus hermeticum offers a particularly striking idea. The visible is nothing but a reflection of the invisible. This phrase encapsulates the belief that our tangible experiences are shaped by unseen forces. In these traditions, liberation from this invisible prison requires self-awareness and spiritual awakening. Without these, individuals risk being perpetually controlled by external influences. Modern views on social constructs. While ancient writings focused on metaphysical forces, modern sociology and psychology explore similar ideas through a different lens. Social psychologists study how cultural norms, institutions, and media shape behavior. These mechanisms, though not mystical, often operate subtly, reinforcing patterns of control. Take, for example, the idea of consumer culture. Advertisements tell us what to wear, eat, and desire, steering our choices in ways we rarely question. Breaking free, paths to awakening. If the invisible prison exists, how can individuals escape its confines? Both ancient and modern perspectives offer potential solutions, emphasizing the importance of self-awareness, critical thinking, and spiritual practices. 1. Meditation and inner reflection. Many traditions advocate meditation as a tool to quiet the mind and uncover hidden influences. By focusing inward, individuals can break free from automated behaviors and gain clarity about their true desires and motivations. Meditation is not just a spiritual exercise. It's a practical way to observe and challenge the mental scripts we unconsciously follow. 2. Critical engagement with society. Questioning social norms and institutions is another key step. Whether it's challenging consumer culture, rethinking career aspirations, or scrutinizing political narratives, critical engagement encourages individuals to think independently. This doesn't mean rejecting progress or modern systems, but rather adopting a mindful approach to the choices we make. 3. Exploration of ancient wisdom. For those drawn to mysticism, ancient texts like the Nag Hammadi Manuscripts, the Corpus Hermeticum, and Kabbalistic writings offer insights into breaking free from illusion. These texts often describe practices for reconnecting with a divine spark or higher consciousness, suggesting that true freedom comes from transcending material concerns. 4. Awareness of psychological conditioning. Modern psychology provides practical tools for understanding how conditioning affects behavior. From Pavlov's experiments on stimulus response mechanisms to studies on subliminal messaging, research shows that subtle cues can shape decisions without conscious awareness. Recognizing these influences is the first step toward resisting them. The role of synchronicities in extraordinary phenomena. In extreme cases, individuals have reported experiences that seem to transcend the usual rules of reality. Stories of superhuman feats, near-death experiences, and sudden moments of insight often defy conventional explanation. While skeptics attribute these phenomena to biological or psychological factors, esoteric traditions see them as glimpses of a higher reality. For example, parapsychological studies mention cases where people displayed extraordinary abilities under stress or during meditative states. These moments are interpreted as evidence that consciousness can break through the boundaries of the invisible prison, albeit temporarily. The debate, paranoia or liberation. Critics of the invisible prison theory argue that it borders on paranoia, dismissing it as a way to avoid personal responsibility or escape from reality. They point to scientific advancements and societal achievements as proof that humanity is not trapped in a grand illusion. Proponents, however, insist that the theory is not about rejecting progress but about staying vigilant. They argue that understanding the mechanisms of control, whether social, psychological, or metaphysical, allows individuals to make more informed choices and reclaim their autonomy. Practical takeaways for daily life. Whether or not you believe in the invisible prison, the conversation raises important questions about the nature of reality and personal freedom. Here are some practical steps to explore. Develop a daily mindfulness practice. Start with small moments of reflection, questioning your habits and routines. Engage with diverse perspectives. Read ancient texts, explore alternative philosophies, and consider viewpoints outside the mainstream. Limit external influences. Reduce exposure to advertisements, social media, and other sources of unconscious conditioning. Embrace critical thinking. Question societal norms and challenge assumptions about what is normal. Connect with like-minded communities. Join discussions, online or offline, with people interested in exploring consciousness and freedom. Conclusion. The idea of an invisible prison challenges us to look beyond surface appearances and question the forces shaping our lives. Whether interpreted through the lens of ancient mysticism, modern sociology, or personal introspection, it invites us to consider the possibility that reality is more fluid and complex than it seems. Ultimately, the path to freedom begins with awareness. By recognizing and challenging the invisible scripts in our lives, we open the door to deeper understanding and greater autonomy. Whether through meditation, critical inquiry, or spiritual exploration, the journey toward awakening is one that each individual must undertake for themselves.